So this training is for going over the frame. So I'm going to give you guys just kind of a basic idea of how you would actually go through this with a client of ours. So on the frame, you'll see the first line is basically just who you need to be during the call. You want to have your energy at, you want to mirror their energy +1. So just a little higher than theirs. You don't want to come on and they're like really low down and you're just bubbly. It will turn them off. And you don't want to be like, less than them if they're excited and you're just like, yeah, well, not gonna work. So match their energy, +1. Validation, it says general first and then personal later. This is the way that you don't come off as a creep, but you get them a lot of these emotional deposits. You want to make them feel good. And so the thing is, when they come up with something, if I'm talking to Jerry at Sub-Zero Ice Cream and he says, yeah, well, we're just, we're planning on putting up 2 more locations this year. I want to give him some general validation and say something along the lines of, wow, that's awesome that you guys are doing so well. A lot of other places are struggling, but it sounds like you're working really hard and getting good results. So generally, this is how people are doing. It sounds like you're doing great. Later, a more personal validation would be something along the lines of, wow, Jerry, I think that's really smart that you thought of that. Something really personal where it's like, I think something I like about you that I'm picking up on is I think you're a solutions guy. And I appreciate that in people. That's a very personal one. And it comes off a little creepy if you do it too early. So you got to kind of do the general validation, get them warmed up. And then if you want to drop some personal validation, that is highly recommended. Listening, you can ignore them. You can have selective listening. Selective listening for in sales is when you have somebody who they're just sitting there on the phone waiting for them to say, well, and yeah, I guess we could use your product. And they go, yes, buy. They don't care about anything else that they said except for what they're waiting for. So don't be that person. Active listening is what you're looking for. You want to actually be listening. If they say my kid's birthday is July 23rd, you want to be able to say, hey, and whatever, excited your kid's birthday's coming up later. You want to be able to remember things, listen to everything they're saying, because it really, really comes in effective later. Empathy, when you're listening empathetically, it's making sure to hear the actual emotion behind what it is. It's kind of what's the thing behind what they're saying. So that's very important. Framing. So this is how you'll actually do the real sales call. So again, that's all about how you show up and how you your mannerism behind how you interact with them. What you want to do is as soon as you get on a call, if they say, hi, who is this? You're going to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Mikey. I'm with Crown Media. I was just calling you guys because I love your brand and I can't believe we don't work with you. Either I've been there or my friends have told me about you or I saw your Instagram and I think you guys have the coolest brand. Make it sound like it's something that you're like, I ran across you and I can't believe we don't work together. So I usually say, hey, because I've been calling Ashley's list. Ashley's my assistant. And so I say, my assistant was just telling me how much she loves you guys. And we were just saying, why don't we work for you? Like, why don't we work together? And they're like, oh, well, that sounds awesome. Who are you? What do you do? And that's where we get into it. We're Crown Media. We're a content creation company, but we specialize in bringing you local customers so we can make you more money. Because again, these people want to make more money and they want more customers. How do they do that? We're targeting local businesses. It doesn't matter if you can get them out to the nation. And that's one of the misconceptions that people have about, content is they're thinking, you're just going to get me out to everybody, but I can only actually serve the people in my community. So we say we specialize in getting you new local customers. Pretty sweet. We're going to make you money. So if they say, who are you? Say, hey, we're Crown Media. We specialize in making content for companies and helping them reach local audiences so they can get more customers and make more money. Very human. I would not play it off like it's a sales thing. We do this and we make you more money. It's like, we make you more money. Try and make it sound like, ironically, we're actually here to make you money. Something where it becomes more friendly. So basically, the way you frame this is you go through the whole second column and you say, hey, the way I usually like to do these calls is to save us both time. This means you're not going to give them anything on this phone call that's just going to be air. It's not going to be annoying. It's not going to be a waste of time. It's going to be all effective communication, and that's what they're expecting now. So as soon as you get on the call and you introduce yourself and you say, hey, my assistant, or hey, my manager just told me about you guys, and we were just saying, well, I don't know why we don't work together. You guys have such a great brand. We'd love to work with you. Well, who are you? Well, we work for Crown Media. We're a content creation company. We specialize in bringing you local customers and making you more money. Sounds great. Yeah, well, I'd love to just ask you a few questions about your company. Usually whenever I get on a call with somebody, you're telling it like it's a story. Usually whenever I get on a call with somebody, I just like to know, what industry you're in, how long you've been there, and, what are your personal goals for the year. And then I kind of go over what's the success you've seen and what are the challenges you've seen with getting to that goal. And then I like to know kind of more specifically what you guys actually do to get the word out about you, if you're marketing or whatever. And then I can kind of, see if we might be a fit to help you actually reach your goals. So they're going, okay, this person actually cares about what's going on in my business and they think they can help me. So then we go through it. So that's framing, right? We just list out everything we're going to talk about. There's no secret twists and turns. They know what's coming. Super effective. So then we go into business and we say, awesome. So really quick, it looks like I know what industry you're in. You're in, ice cream restaurants. Have you guys been in that a long time? Oh yeah, we've been in it for 4 to 6 years. Great, awesome. Well, what's your guys' personal goals for this year? Oh, we're trying to put on locations 4 and 5, and then we're gonna see if we want to franchise. Sweet, that's exciting. Don't just move on to the next point. Acknowledge their goal. That is an awesome goal. And then they're gonna be like, yeah, we're really excited about it, this and that. And then you go, okay, well, that's awesome. Tell me, what success have you seen so far getting there? And then they're gonna be able to go, oh, well, we've hit these goals and these goals and these goals, and we're doing great here. And you say, that's awesome. What challenges are you dealing with in getting the rest of the way there? They will tell you, and this is super important to be active listening at this point, because they're gonna go, this is what's holding us back. And then it's your job as the salesman to basically help them bridge the connection between how content is gonna be the solution to get them to that goal through the challenge that they're facing. Does that make sense? So you're trying to say content is the answer, but we're not gonna say it yet. We just wanna sympathize. When they say, yeah, it's been really hard getting more local people to come in. We get a lot of people coming in as a one-time thing on a visit or something, but we're having a hard time getting the college students in our community to come in. Oh, active listening, I heard your problem. Okay, awesome. Or I wouldn't even say awesome, I'd probably say, yeah, that can be tough. It's a big challenge for a lot of people and they usually need help getting over it. That's just presetting the stage if you want to do that. But then you go into, well, tell me, you're having a hard time getting these college students, but what are you doing for marketing? Do you guys run ads? Are you guys, how have you been getting your new business? Is it word of mouth? Are you running on social media? What are you doing? And again, active listening, because you want to know, what have they tried? What has their experience with it been? Because they might say, hey, we've been trying social media and it's not working. That's when you're going to want to dig deep. At the very top of the page, you can see that it says, help them open up. It has a couple phrases to help you out. It says, you must say that for a reason. If they say, I don't really think that social media works, you're like, well, you must say that for a reason. Or you can go into, what do you mean by that? Help me understand. Put me on the same page. Walk me through it. If you guys really want to do just the master sales technique, you just do mirroring, which means you just repeat the last 2 to 3 words that they just said. So if they say, I don't just, with social media, I don't really think it works. You just say, you don't think it works. And that's gonna open up whatever they're really saying. And you can do it again. They might say, well, yeah, because I posted and I didn't really see a lot of likes. Didn't see a lot of likes? Well, yeah, I was posting, and I'd only get like 2-3 likes. And so I don't think it was working. Oh, that makes sense. Let me ask you a few more questions. How often were you posting? What did you post? Was your content interactive? Did you ever post on your story or just on your main feed? Were you posting a picture or reels? And again, this is not to make them feel pressured, but it's to help you understand even better so that when you explain our service and say, we send someone in every 2 weeks that they come in for a few hours, they're gonna film and get a bunch of up-to-date material that they can use to create content so that they can help boost your brand. They're gonna make interactive and fun and enticing videos that are gonna be reels that actually are gonna get a lot more engagement. I can't wait to show you how this stuff works because you've seen some companies that have had success with social media, I'm sure. And they're gonna always say yes. And so then you can go into, well, great, we're about to make you one of those. It can take a little bit of time to get going, but we do our absolute best to get you all those current customers coming in as quick as possible. Pretty cool. So the thing is, now that you actually know all this stuff, you say, okay, they know the industry they've been in. I know how long they've been there. I know their goal this year. I know what they've done that's helped and what's been their big challenge to get to their goal. And I know what they've done with marketing. With a lot of these, they've never tried social media. A lot of the people we're reaching out to, lawyers, a lot of local businesses, they might have put a couple hundred posts on over a decade, and they might have a couple thousand followers. But there is so much potential there. And so this is where it's your job to basically go in and say, hey, look, recognize with me, the world is changing a little bit. And the thing is, you don't want to scare them here. You want to make them feel encouraged. Just say, hey, don't worry. I'm so glad we met you. We're going to be the thing that helps you basically reach all these new audiences that you already knew you should have been reaching, but you just maybe weren't making the connection. We're going to help you to actually connect with people the way they want to be connected with nowadays, which is they run across you on their phone. They see you with their favorite influencers. Because if you guys understand our service, we do offer, as soon as they've done 3 months worth of working with us, we can actually get them in with influencers who are stacked with local active audiences that follow their pages. So we can actually help them get all of this local business coming in. So again, a little hard to do a call like this without an actual person on the end of the line, because I'm just coming up with a lot of hypotheticals. But let me go through it again. So I'm going to match their energy. I'm going to give them general compliments. I'm going to say things like, I think that's really smart of you. And most of that, if you guys notice, the first line is implemented all across the second. That general and personal validation is going to come in probably around the time that you're getting through this part, where they say the success that they've seen towards their goals, as well as what they've been doing for marketing. And again, don't just glance over this and say, oh, okay, you tried ads. Cool. What success did you see with them? Get really curious, because guys, the more questions that you're asking, if you just ask tons of questions and you're doing 10% of the talking and they're doing 90, two things are going to happen. One is they're going to feel like they have been super understood. So whatever you actually tell them next, they're going to believe is the answer, because they're going to go, he fully understands my situation. And the other thing is, people love hearing themselves talk. They love it. Every time they're talking, they are the master of them. They know exactly what they've been through, and so they know exactly how to express to you what's going on. It's a place where you can feel certain. So as they're actually talking to you and telling you what's been going on with them, they're going to feel better. They're going to feel good, because they're going to feel like they're in a place of certainty, because they're actually giving you the answers that are all correct, because they're the one who decides if the answer is correct. I hope that makes sense. So then you get into solution. This is actually written up for a automated texting service that I sold for. So you're gonna see that these things aren't actually gonna be the answers for what we're selling here. But what you're gonna try and do is just basically go into giving them the vision of where this is gonna go. Say, hey, look, if your goal is to reach these college students, what we're going to do is we're going to start posting this stuff. We're going to go with what do we call it again? A strategic hashtag or custom. We have a great email for this, guys. You'll love it. Proprietary hashtag strategy. A couple big words like that actually make them feel like your service is very polished and very valuable. So make sure to look over the letters. Make sure to know the process really well too. Just like I framed this call, if I say, hey, what I like to do is first I like to go over how long have you been in it, what industry you're in, and what's your goals, what success and challenges have you hit with those goals, and then what have you done for your marketing. They're like, this guy's been on this call 100 times. He knows what he's doing. And so if you can tell them, yeah, as soon as we get you signed up, what's going to happen, and you take them through it. We're going to send someone's going to do your onboarding call. They want to make sure that your brand has your story figured out, so that we can actually make sure that all of your marketing lines up with an emotional story that actually gets your audience more involved and more loyal to your brand. And that way we can actually put that across all your content. And then we're actually going to send somebody out. They're going to come out. They're going to get to know you, going to come and film a ton of things. If you have ideas of what you already want, please have those ready or send them to us. What we're going to do is we're actually going to film the first week, and we're not going to post for that first week, because we like to be at least a week ahead on all of our content. So for your first week, you're not actually getting any posts, because we are going to be creating the post for 2 weeks out, and then we'll start posting it. And that way our management can always check the posts a week before they're posted, and they can make sure that it's quality. So your first week, you're not actually getting any posts. But after that, we'll make sure that you have tons of it. We do have other things we don't want to overwhelm you with, is how I would put it, but we do have other ways that we can actually help you. If you want to do a giveaway, we have options where we have a whole package and a team that can do that for you. If you want a brand image consultant, if you want a brand analysis consultant, a marketing analysis, we can do those too. So we have other services that we can definitely get you, but for what you'd be signing up for, the base package, you're gonna have somebody coming out once every 2 weeks to get up-to-date footage, and then they're gonna answer any questions you ever have. They're gonna show you maybe some of the new stuff coming up so that you guys are up to date, but we really don't wanna be adding anything to your plate. If you say that, they're gonna love you. Because you gotta understand who you're selling to. And we'll have a whole nother video about that you guys are gonna watch, because it is so important to know who you're selling to. If they know that you understand that they're busy and that they don't want anything else added to their plate, and that's half the reason they want you, they're gonna be very happy, because they're gonna go, awesome, you're gonna show me a little bit of results, but you're not gonna make me do any of the work? Awesome, I love that. And then in this other video, you're gonna see that really what they're looking for is they just wanna be confident in their business and feel successful, that their brand is keeping up with all the other big brands, that they have a social media that reflects what they've always seen in their brand and what they hope other people will see in their brand. So we'll get into that. But make sure when you're closing, you're helping them see the vision, walk them through the process of what's gonna happen next, letting them know when they're gonna see the posts, letting them know maybe even how we post. If you wanna get really detailed, some of these people love it. You gotta gauge your audience. Some of them don't want any details hardly. Some of them want as many as you can give them. So if you can say, we always find a time that your audience is on social media, and then we will post at the time that most of them are on there to give you the best chance of getting some good reactions, some likes, some comments right at the beginning when we post it. And then that will give it the best chance of, getting out there and getting big. But recognize that, not every post always gets a lot of likes. So we're always going to make sure that we're putting it on your story, making sure that, people are seeing it on there. We're always going to try and add subtitles on if there's any verbiage, because 85% of people don't actually even listen or get on social media with volume on. Just letting them know little facts like that makes you feel like the expert. So we'll send you guys a list of facts. I'll put that on the list today. Maybe I'll make a video about that just so you guys can know them, because if you're speaking as an expert, they're going to trust you. The biggest thing is on the close, just making sure that you are giving them an actual way to get started. The biggest way is just saying, so like I said, we really love your brand and we're super excited to get it started. And I would maybe we need to make even another sales video where I actually show you guys this, but helping them see the ROI, the return on investment. If you're calling lawyers, I would say something along the lines of, I love working with law firms because we can make you guys so much money. And they're like, well, what do you mean? And you can reference and say, for me, I would say, I follow a law firm that they do a YouTube channel, and they're very big on that. And they have 350,000 subscribers. And more people see the videos than they have subscribers. They'll get millions of views. So they're getting millions and millions of people in their audience that are seeing their videos and then reaching out to them for services. So out of millions and millions, even if they only got like 5,000 new clients over years of posting this stuff, and this is not a cheap law firm, they do some pretty expensive work. And so it's like, if the average client is paying $20,000 for work with them and they had 5,000 new clients, that's $100 million. And if you can just explain that to the lawyers even, be a real person. Get on that call and be like, this is why I love working with you guys, because these guys are making $100 million probably, maybe more. You're like, and I love that I can come in, I can create a really good image for your company and help you make a ton of money. And then they're going, I like this person. That makes sense. That's very simple. The simpler you can keep it and the more you can help them just see the vision, the quicker you're going to close it. I'm sorry if this is a little bit of a broad one, but I wanted to take you guys through this frame. Each of you have your own sales style, and I want you to lean into it. Don't worry about, selling like I do, but I wanted to give you my way of doing it. I love taking them through this frame. Mostly the base understanding of a frame is just saying, here's what I'm going to go over. It's going to be a lot of questions so that I can understand your business. And then I'll give you a solution. Then you ask them all those questions, and then you give them a solution. And that's it. If you guys have any problems where you're running into closing problems or intro problems or whatever else, reach out to me and we'll fix it. And we'll get you guys going, because I want you guys making a lot of money quickly. I don't want anybody feeling like they're held up or like this is hard in any way. When you're reaching out to lawyers that make millions a year, asking them to pay $2,500, which I will point out is cheaper on the side of content creation. Most companies out here are $3,000 to $4,000 a month. We are the cheap ones here. And I wouldn't say cheap, I would say less expensive, if you're gonna say that. But we're a great service. We have professional videographers that we work with that we're signing up more and more of them all the time. They've been doing this for years, and we're gonna get a lot of their content posted to our Instagram soon. And so you guys will be able to actually reference that and say, hey, you can go look at these. We have our manager, which the email is manager@crownmediautah.com. If you guys need to get connected and get any of the emails or anything, we can get you on our drive. We have a lot of materials for you there. So just always want to make sure you guys feel like you got everything you need. Let me know if you need anything else. Let them know about the payments and how they work. Hey, it's a no contract. It's a month-to-month business. I'll send you a link for Stripe and you'll pay. And then it's just a monthly charge and we keep coming back. And that's how we work. And our goal is hopefully that by month 3, when we get you with your first influencers, that again, they pay for, but we do have some cheap options when they're first starting out, that hopefully by the end of month 3 is when they make enough money that they can actually pay off all the money that they've paid us. That's our goal. Doesn't always happen, but it's our goal. So anyway, something to throw out there. I know this was kind of an information download, but excited to work with you guys, and we'll have a couple other videos you can watch.